The charity's main role is to look after the 5 bridges, and for the last 30 years we've been using the surplus from our investments to support charities all across the capital. We've spent over £750 million during that time supporting organisations working to tackle inequality and injustice all across London. But in 2020, we reviewed our reserves position and we identified an additional £200 million. And that's enabled us to support a lot more work over the last few years. Now that funding's coming to an end, it's enabled us to take a stock and look back at some of the amazing work that we've funded so far. So around half of that money has been used for some really specific strategic work across London. And a lot of it's been focused on collaboration work and work tackling the root causes of poverty and inequality. That's included our Anchor programme, which is a programme of 10-year long-term sustainable core funding for infrastructure bodies across London. And those are the bodies that support all of the frontline and service delivery charities and other organisations in London. It's also included our support for the Propel programme, which is a huge collaboration of many funders across London, where we're working to tackle inequality and injustice in a community-driven way and led by the communities that are living in those areas and working in those areas. The other half of the funding was used primarily to top up our day-to-day activities, and that's making grants to organisations doing service delivery and direct delivery across London for really pivotal work. What that's meant is that of all the applications we've received, around 75 to 90% have been successful, which is unprecedented for us. It's also allowed us to make a number of additional grants across our whole portfolio to support the organisations that we fund with the unprecedented rising costs across the sector. The other thing that it's helped us to do is to work collaboratively with other funders across London and nationally on their work in London, and that's leveraged an additional £70 million of funding for the organisations we support. This funding came at a time when we had no idea what was about to hit us. The pandemic and the cost of living crisis have had a huge impact on all of our lives. This came at a time when there was a huge surge in demand for the organisations that we support, and at a time when income was falling. It means that we've been able to provide a lifeline to these organisations that are providing really, really vital support across London. We've funded thousands of community organisations right across the capital, and without this, some of them may have struggled to continue. The £200 million was always a one-off allocation, and unfortunately, we just don't have the resources to continue that beyond this point. London has changed considerably in the last 5 years, and we have to change and we have to evolve to make sure that we continue to address the issues that Londoners are facing today. Our new funding policy, which we're hoping to launch later this year, will have a much sharper focus on social justice and on tackling the root causes of inequality. We've been standing with Londoners for the last 900 years, and we will continue to work with Londoners and all of our partners to continue to make London a fairer place.